Welcome to the Be Progressive Show. I am Brandon Neal. Today we're going to take a look at an exchange that happened last night on Fox Business between our favorite Trump sycophant, Lou Dobbs, and our local White House resident Nazi, Stephen Miller. Now, you would think that these two guys would just get on here and just eat each other up. It would just be such a great conversation. Just giddy. Well, Lou Dobbs is still really salty that Donald Trump lost the election. And he is pissed off about it. And he wants to talk to Stephen Miller and find out why the Trump administration hasn't hired Ted Cruz somehow to be the head investigator in this election fraud that happened. So let's take a listen to this. It gets heated.
Senator Ted Cruz just stood up, offering to argue the case for the president and for free and fair elections and against unlawful elections, fraudulent elections before the Supreme Court. Your reaction to his offer, which seems propitious and extraordinarily valuable to the president's interests?
Yes, well, we salute the courage of Senator Cruz. And you're right, heroes do need to step up. And that means heroes in our state legislatures need to step up. In the state of Georgia, we need signature matching. We need signature verification. This ludicrous consent decree, this illegal consent decree that wiped away signature verification requirements, that was entered into, by the way, with the same law firm, Perkins Coie, that brought us the Fusion GPS disaster, that needs to be voided, and we need to have signature matching.
Lou's like, you're not talking about Ted enough.
Let me raise my hand. We know about Perkins Coie. You know about it. So does the RNC. So does every PAC in the country, every Republican donor. But they ignore everything they do. Mark Elias, why don't you guys put together $500 million and go hire him and get him out of your way? It's extraordinary. The president warns for months and months and months about mail-in ballots and the potential for fraud, and the Republicans do nothing, Stephen. Nothing.
It's an outrage.
Is wrong?
Right.
What's wrong with the Republican Party?
Where?
This is awesome. Of course, Trump's been warning about voter fraud. He probably started warning about voter fraud in 2015 when he thought he might lose to Hillary. I mean, that's just how it is. It was always going to be fraud if he lost. Always. He could have lost. Every person in the fucking country could have voted for Joe Biden, literally all of them, and he would have still said he won. You know, that's why, Lou, you don't get it, dumbass. You lost. So why don't you get pissed off here and tear into your little Nazi pet?
Where is the outrage?
Really on the
tens of millions of ballots.
Where the hell are the Republicans?
Where the fuck are they, Stephen? Tell us where those Republicans are at.
You're right,
Where
Lou.
are they?
Tens of millions of ballots nationwide, no signature checks, no citizenship checks, no residency checks, no age checks, no criminal record checks, not even checking if you're alive or dead? Are we a third world country? Are we a banana republic? What does it come to?
Well, the Trump administration almost got us
US
there.
citizens,
Let me tell you what it's
this
come to.
president gets 4 more years.
No, he doesn't.
Let me, and you know, from your lips to God's ears. The reality is that this president right now is fighting, and let's be straightforward about it. He's fighting all alone. And Ted Cruz has stepped up to say he'll argue before the Supreme Court.
Oh, God, Teddy.
Why in God's green earth wouldn't the White House jump on it? Why shouldn't they accept that right now?
And I'll just say this one other thing, though. If 3 state legislatures I just outlined, one correction in Wisconsin.
No, Stephen, I won't let you say. I'm not going to let you do this. I'm not going to
let
you
do that.
I'm not going to let you do that. I ask a question. You and I, we're reasonably smart.
He really wants to talk about Ted.
Why don't you answer me? That's all I'm asking here, Stephen. Why don't you guys jump in?
Stephen doesn't want to go down this road because Stephen's not as stupid as Lou Dobbs and realizes that there's no way in hell they're ever going to get to the Supreme Court, and there's no reason to even bother even talking to Ted Cruz when he just did this as a stunt.
Salute Ted Cruz and say, yes, we want you on the team now. My God, this is not a time for internecine nonsense on the part of the Republican Party, which is watching its blood drain into the streets because they're gutless.
But you're right, Lou. You and I are great friends, and we have the same mind and the same thought on this issue. We are simpatico. And it is time for everyone involved in this process to stand up, do right by country, do right by God, do right by their conscience, and stand for the principle of one citizen, one vote. You'll have no argument and no quarrel with me on that, Lou. Not now, not ever.
He ain't gonna
Except
do
for
it.
one thing. What I asked you about was Ted Cruz.
Well, Lou, as you
Why
know,
not
I'm
put
speaking
your arms
today as a
around him and
representative
welcome
of
him
the...
into the leadership. I know you are. I know who you are, and I know what you do. You know me, and you know what I do. My
Ted must got under the table for Lou last time he was there.
job is to get answers to the questions I ask.
And Lou, you're entitled to that
Especially from my
answer,
friends.
and I'll see to it that you get the answer. As I sit here today, Lou, I'm not in a position to make that decision, but I'll get you that answer, Lou. But at the same time, we cannot let the
All right, fair enough.
Constitution give state legislatures the obligation to slate electors. And we cannot let our state
Where the
GOP
hell is
legislators
the
off the
attorney?
hook.
Stephen, you're one of the great Americans. No one has worked harder for this president.
Lou
than
just
you.
can't take it.
I mean, I have got the greatest respect
And
for
I will
all
to
you've
my last
accomplished
breath,
and will
Lou.
accomplish for this president. I know that.
And I will to my last
I've
breath.
got to
Lou.
ask you, why are we dealing with a Justice Department that has a election crimes unit and they don't give a damn about the election crimes? We have an attorney general that wants you to believe that we didn't have any fraud. They didn't find anything of any significance or sufficiency to suggest that the outcome of the election should be otherwise. These people are either damn fools or they're damn liars. Either way, the American people are suffering at the hands of an absent Justice Department, election crimes unit, voting rights division. I mean, God, what in hell could we do more to wonder what has happened to this country? What more could we do to screw it up? It's amazing. We need a fix now. And I want to say thanks
Did he
to
just totally dump
Senator
Stephen
Ted
Miller?
Cruz for stepping up, one of the few, and Stephen Miller, who is in the war every day in every way.
I was like, man, if he just dumped Stephen Miller and didn't even say bye or anything, he must have been more salty than I thought. But I guess he gave him a goodbye there. That was a little weird. So Lou, man, he wants to be Trump so bad. And there's been videos lately. That one wasn't too bad, but there's been videos where he's even going orange, dude. Like, he wants to be Trump so bad. And this has got him so salty that he has lost this election. And he knows it. I mean, these guys act like they put on a good show. You know, it's like they all know he lost. This is all just a fucking game because they're all in on the grift, you know, and this grift is going to continue and is making really good money for Trump by having these rallies and selling bullshit and sending out emails begging for money and saying it's to fight for the Constitution or the Second Amendment or whatever bullshit they want to add that day. And they just these maggots just pour money into this guy's coffers. So, you know, he's just going to grift it up and these guys are going to act like they, you know, they know what, or act like they got cheated when they know damn good and well they didn't. And, you know, it's all just a game, folks. It's it's WWE or WWF. Sorry, I'm old enough to always call it WWF. But that's all this is, man. It's just good guys and bad guys on screen that hate each other, but when they go behind the scenes, they're all just out having a beer and laughing at you. So, oh, man, I will say I love what Trump has done to the Republican Party. He burned that motherfucker to the ground.